what I want to rant about exactly, but I know that I want to rant about something. And I don't know. I know I want to rant, but I'm not sure what. I guess transphobia is annoying, honestly. Shocker. And if you disagree, I don't know why you're even here in the first place, because I thought it was... I'm pretty open about it, so I don't know why you're here. Anyway. I guess I'm just... It's just so stupid, right? Because I don't care what you believe in, right? But the thing is, I don't bother your existence. No trans person. The fact that somebody's trans doesn't bother your existence. I almost said that no trans person bothers your existence, but that could be untrue. But even then, it has nothing to do with them being trans. Literally, because everybody just seems to correlate everything to that for every trans person, and it's so annoying because, like, I just don't understand. Because number one, me being trans is not hurting you. Number two, mind your business. Number three, I don't know why people act like they want to be educated. And the second that you're like, oh yeah, well actually, this is how it works. Here's an explanation on what you just asked. They're like, ugh, what? That's so weird. You asked. Like, bro. And I'm just like, so, it's just so annoying because, like, I don't know what they want us to do. Do you want us to stop? Do you want us to stop existing? Is that it? Like, okay, I should don't answer that question. So I know there's gonna be people who say yes, because there are people who say yes. And I wish that was an exaggeration or a joke, but no. And if there's people who genuinely wish death upon me, mind you, 14-year-old child who draws and plays and watches YouTube all day because I'm trans, and that's the only reason. If people genuinely want to wish me eternal torture because they don't understand, so they hate it, that's why. That's literally the only reason for transphobia. Other than that, it's just capitalism trying to find a scapegoat for problems. And it's like, because that's all it is. They're just trying to scapegoat us, and they can admit that. They can admit that. It's not that hard to admit that you just want a scapegoat. But I guess it is, apparently. I don't know. People are so stupid, dude. And it's like, people, and then whenever I tell people I'm 14 or something, right? I can understand being shocked, like, oh, that's crazy. How'd you find that out so early, right? But like, when it's like, are you sure though? Yes, I'm sure. Shut up. What kind of question is that? Are you sure you're cis? Like, you realize that's how you sound when people say that, right? That's how they sound. You sure that you... Listen, I've been on the risk of very serious things over gender dysphoria, which I have clinically diagnosed by a professional, mind you. So, that's the thing. Right. I'm pretty sure. Like, sure, maybe somehow there is a universe where I'm not trans, and that's okay. Sure. But being trans isn't identifying as it. To me, I think being trans is you identify as the gender you were assigned. You identify as the opposite gender you were assigned at birth. That's what being trans is to me. And as I said before, right, I'm 14. And I don't think that a 14-year-old child, literally freshly 14, mind you, I don't think I should be worrying about a genocide against me. Don't you think that's kind of weird? Don't you think that's stupid? And there's gonna be people like, oh no, there isn't a genocide, blah 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 blah, right? There is. You're just ignorant. And I think, in my opinion, they're using mass depression in trans circles as a way to exploit us into... So basically, they want us to do the dirty work for them. They want us to do it to ourselves. And I don't know if you can label me as a terrorist. You can label me as an NVE or whatever you want. I don't care. But actively trying to, or at least preparing to, kill us. Because let's be real. What's the word again? It's like, the quote-unquote therapy where they try to reverse the queerness of any person. I forgot what it's called. It's like not rehabilitation. It's whatever. It starts with a you know what I'm talking about when I say this. I'm gonna call it therapy, quote unquote. That's what I'm gonna call it, because I don't know, I forgot the actual word for it, so forgive me for that. But what I'm trying to get at is, trans people don't bother you. They never will bother. The existence of a trans person will never bother you. You are falling for propaganda to scapegoat somebody while the government gets away with stuff that they shouldn't. Because you know why? Because they're scapegoating us. Literally, I can debunk a lot of transphobic talking points right here, right now. It is not legal to operate on a child for non-life-saving or medical reasons. Boom, right there. Now, number two, it is not... Number two, it is not the mass... It is not a population thing. Trans people still have reproductive organs. Unless they get bottom surgery, they still have reproductive organs that work. That is a fact. Well, I mean, that is unless if they don't work, of course. But that would just be trans women. Which it is a very real effect. I'm going to get that out of the way. It is a very real and common thing for things like that to stop working. But it is not a population thing. Because if it were a population thing, I think, because if we're talking about America, they would use a different form of that. Maybe, because, okay, and I'm not gonna promote saying that gay people are also, you know, the population, the psyop. Anyway, but, like, if there was anything, it's more common for people to be gay than for people to be trans. So I feel like it would just be way more complicated to just use us. Number 3. Now, this one's a bit... Now, this one isn't as common as of a talking point, but bottom surgery is not chopping things off. Surgery is not chopping a body part off. Either way, either male to female or female to male isn't cutting off anything. For trans masks, it's rearranging or removing the fat of a... But it's really just rearranging or something similar. There's no... Alright, well, get on the table. We're cutting it off. That's not how that works. I mean, if it was that easy, I think it would cost a lot less, wouldn't it? Yes, it would cost a lot less. It's still an option to get that, but that's not how... That isn't how that works. Because I assume when we're talking about bottom surgery, we're talking about the rearranging one. Unless, let me just get this out of the way. If we're talking about ectomies, then cis men are actually way more common to get those. Or just non-binary people. So that point's out of the way. I hate talking about that because it's so gross and so obvious too. Oh, and number 3, identifying as trans in itself does not harm anybody. Doesn't harm yourself, doesn't harm me, doesn't harm you. I already said you, yourself, whatever. It doesn't harm anybody. Obviously, sure, there can be mishaps in surgeries, but those are so uncommon. Every surgery, most surgeries have uncommon, like, mishaps. Sure, there's survival rates of a lot of them, but that's not a mishap thing. That's just like, because it's a dangerous process. And even then, it's not like that for things like gender affirming surgery. So that point's gone out of the way. Another one. Let me think. I feel like there's definitely another one I can do. Let me think here. Oh, right, yeah. Crap, I actually kind of forgot. I'm not gonna lie. There's... Oh yeah, detransitioning. Detransitioners are a very small percent, a 1% of all trans people. 75% of detransitioners only detransition because of it being unsafe in their area, and they have to repress. And they cannot safely transition due to social things like family or friends. Quote-unquote friends, actually. Let me say that. Or just people around them being a danger to them. So let's just say, so yeah, 75% of detransitioners are due to transphobia. That leaves us with a 0.3% of people who detransition and feel like they regret, like they genuinely feel like it wasn't them. And that's fine, as long as they aren't using it as an excuse to be, it's all a psyop, it's all... And I can see that maybe they're just angry because maybe they did something irreversible, like a surgery, right? Maybe that's unfortunate that they didn't feel right doing that, right? But again, 0.3. And another thing people can say is, well, that's why so many of you guys, you know, go away. First of all, how just insufferable do you have to be to say that? Second of all, most trans suicides are, I'd say a good, like, I'd say almost the full, however much it is, 41, I think. Right? I believe it's 41. Because I know that's the number that transphobes like a lot. Because, funny, trans people killing themselves. Oh, so funny. Anyway. It's so stupid. It's so inconsiderate and just horrible. How bad of a person do you think you have to be to do that? Because you gotta think, those people genuinely believe in what they're saying. Right. Anyway. They can also say that that's because they regret it. No, most of them, I'd say like I'd say like 40% or something. I'd say like a good 1% are due to regretting. Even maybe 2%, I'd say. Maybe. Right? But even then, that isn't trans people. Those are people who are cis and got it wrong. Sadly, that's unfortunate that they, you know, spent so much time looking at themselves and they happen to be wrong, and that's fine. That's okay. That's more than okay to be wrong. But you have to think, right? You just gotta think for a moment. A trans person is somebody who identifies as the opposite gender they were assigned at birth. A detransitioner would not identify as that. They would not identify as the opposite gender because they are not the opposite gender, because they are cis and just got wrong. They were just wrong. So there's the whole detransitioners debate gone very quickly. Now here's another one that they like for some reason, even though it's very simple. What is a woman? A woman is somebody who identifies as female. Next. Anyway, a woman is somebody who identifies as female, and a female is somebody who identifies as the feminine gender. It's the typically feminine gender. Anyway. And you know what's funny is that anytime I've debated these people, they almost never know what gender dysphoria is. They're always like the like that one meme with the monkey scratching his head. You know, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Like that, because they're like, gender dysphoria. What's that? You know nothing about the topic that you're trying to bait me on. Yo, it's okay to be wrong. You can just go. It's okay to be wrong. As I just said, that goes for opinions too. And I'm not gonna blame transphobic people unless if they're like, trans people need to die. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Then yeah, I'm gonna blame them for that because that is their bigotry and their fault. They chose to be like that. Just that they fell for propaganda does not mean that they are excusable in that. Unless they're like 13 or something, then that's different, obviously. But if you're like 20, if you're a 20-year-old man and you're saying, I hate you, you need to die, you troon, you need to die. Like, if you're saying that, right, then I think, literally, I've been told that I should be pot roasted with metal flaming hot rods. Mind you, I'm a 14-year-old, so isn't that just so weird, right? Like, I don't bother your existence. I don't know why I'm so... Oh, here's another thing that makes me mad. Why is my existence a debate? Literally, why do you turn on the presidential debate like the last couple of years and you see yeah, they're imagine your son, you tell him to go to school and you say, I love you, Jimmy, have a wonderful day at school, and he comes back with a full surgery, a full operation, disgusting, horrible operation by the woke mind virus. The woke mob did this. He says, mother. And Jimmy, he says, mother. Oh wait, I forgot actually. He says, mother, I'm the woker, baby. Why so curious? And then he does the woke, you know, he wokers all over the place. Wouldn't that be so tragic, guys? Because it's never happened before. Name me one case of somebody getting gender affirming surgery from the school. I will wait. I'll wait. You won't find one because it's never happened. Sure, you can turn on Fox News and hear about it, but I want evidence. I want a study. A genuine study from an unbiased source that says that's exactly what happens. I'd love to hear that, because I'm yet to hear a case of that happening. If they were giving gender affirming care of any kind at school, buddy, I would be like I don't even know, but it's so stupid that they say that, because it's never happened. It's never happened in the history in the history of things that never happened. This has never happened the most. And I hate how it's like we've come to a point where people are celebrating the deaths of trans people. Trans children, mind you, who just Like, I'm gonna say her name right now. Charlotte Fosgate. Charlotte Fosgate. Charlotte Fosgate. Charlotte Fosgate. And I assume if you're seeing this, you might know about her story. You might not. I won't get into it much. But it's very gross. If you want to get into it, sure. But basically, she did what you're thinking, and that was mocked by right-wing Twitter. And there are famous right-wing. There is a famous right-wing comic writer that set the last picture that she took before doing that as his banner on Twitter. It's just so vile that we're at a point where we're celebrating that. We're celebrating that. That's so disgusting. Because, like, we should be, instead of that, maybe we could, I don't know, see people as human, because they are. I know, insane. Isn't that so crazy? And the woke minder has got to me. I think that I'm so woke and horrible, because I think that trans people are people. Crazy, I know. I mean, I'm just insane. Cuckoo, cuckoo. It's just so stupid how, if we're at a point where we need to start saying, yeah, we shouldn't be mocking anybody's. Well, I mean, also if it's like a very horrible person, like a genuinely horrible person, like, we shouldn't be mocking an innocent child's death. Because you'll see people in that thread of her last post, and it's just so vile, because it's like, just imagine being her, right? You're literally a 17-year-old child, a kid. You decide to do that. Unfortunately, you decide to do that. And you're at a point where you genuinely can't go on, and you just do that, right? And that's very bad. And I think that should be the common opinion, that that's not good. That's a bad thing to do. But I guess not, because apparently trans people are demons that need to be tortured alive. Tortured alive. I don't know. Like, it's so stupid. It's like, dude, we do not hurt you. We have never hurt your existence. We don't bother you. So why bother us? Right? I don't care how you feel about it. Right? That doesn't mean that you go around saying stuff that's literally disgusting and horrible. Like Charlotte Fosgate's death. And I'll say her name a million times, right? I would say her name a million times. Because it's what she deserves. After all that, imagine going through all that, having such a horrible life, and then deserve 41%. You're a moron, you're an idiot, and you're a loser. You have no life, you have no job, you have nobody actually likes you. It's just like, my god, dude. Why are we celebrating children's deaths? And if this video goes popular or something, I'm just waiting for this to be remixed on those stupid websites. And I'm not gonna name them, but we all know the names of them.